So dear student, I Rakesh Jain from Gyanvir University. Today I am going to teach you about the flag register of 8086 microprocessor. By knowing this 808586 microprocessor flag register, you will be able to differentiate the 8085 microprocessor and 8086 microprocessor. As we know that flag register, as the name implies, flag is what, like for the indication. Okay, after the arithmetic and logic operations, what will be the result? Result will be positive, result will be negative. Is any carry generated, carry not generated, jump from previous bit to next bit, overflow will be indicated. So these kind of indication can be done with the help of a flag register. It is a special purpose register. Okay, in 8086 micro. So after the completion of this lecture, you will be able to understand the flag registers of 8086, the difference between 8085 microprocessor flags and 8086 microprocessor flags, how to draw the flag status register diagram, that is program status board of 8086 microprocessor. So just see this MS Paint file first of all, where I will draw the diagram and will explain you. Yes, so just see this MS Paint file first of all. Okay. So here I just mentioned today date also. Today date also. So today is 9th June 2020. Okay. So flag register of 8086 microprocessor. So just to see this diagram, actually in 8085 microprocessor, there was 5 flags: sign flag, zero flag, auxiliary carry flag, parity flag, and carry flag. But in case of 8086 microprocessor, there are 9 flags. 6 flags are of status flag, and there are 3 directions flag are also present. They are over direction flag, interrupt enable, and track flag. So there are total 9 flags. So flag register is generally status. These are known as control flags. The remaining 3 flags are known as control flag. So flag register is a special purpose register. So I just write down. See, flag register is a special register in 8086 microprocessor. So, okay. Actually, there are two kind of flags. There are total 9 flags in 8086, which 6 flags are status flag, which is just to show you the result of any arithmetic and logic operations indication. 6 flag are status flag, and 3 flags are control flags, we can say. The 6 are the status flags and 3 are the control flags. 3 flags are control flags. So now I am just drawing this flag register. So just to see the different flags of 8086 microprocessor. So these are different flags. Wherever I write down the cross, they are user definable bit. They will be not used by the flags itself. Okay. So just to see the carry flag, parity flag, auxiliary carry flag, zero flag, like these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 bit. We should draw over here. That's why I just draw 1, 2, 4. Just to see this one, there are 16 bit of, because it is a 16-bit microprocessor. There should be the accumulator bit. There should be a 16 bit of data is present. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, so this is, uh, I just write down the flags names over here. So one, two, three, four, these are user definable bit or cannot be used by the flags itself. So they are not categorized in the flags. So I just mark them with cross sign. Okay, they will not be for the analysis of flags. Now the next one is the control flags first of all. So overflow flag, so direction flag, overflow flag, and interrupt enable flags are your ODI. They can be denoted as O, D, and I. These are your control flags. Because for we talk about the flags, so I just write down for the abbreviation by F. So these three are the control flags. These three are the control flags. The name of these flags are overflow flag. This is overflow flag. This is your direction flag. This is your direction flag. And this is your interrupt flag. That is known as interrupt enable flag. That is known as interrupt enable flag. This is your interrupt enable flag. Okay, so these are three flags which are in the category of control flags. These three are in the category of control flags. These three are your control flags. Now we talk about the remaining flag. They are same: sign flag, zero flag, auxiliary carry flag, parity flag. So first of all, sign flag and auxiliary carry flag. So these are your trap. One more is trap flag. Okay, instead of this overflow flag is not the control flag. The direction flag and the interrupt enable and the trap flag are your control flag. So the next one is your trap flag. So this one is your trap flag. TF by we can denote this by TF. So this first of all I just draw the diagram. So this is your trap flag. TF for trap flag. Trap flag. I write down the name over here. Trap flag. These three, which is denoted from this purple color, right? These three are your one is the direction flag, one is the interrupt enable flag, and the third one is trap flag. These three are your control flags. Now the remaining flags are your status flag. They are sign flag, overflow flag already done. So sign flag, zero flag, sign flag, zero flag. This is your sign flag. So I denoted by S. Sign flag, zero flag, that is denoted by Z. Okay, I just write down the name of those flags here. This is your sign flag. And this is your zero flag. Zero flag. And the remaining are then a user definable bit, then auxiliary carry flag, then user definable bit and auxiliary carry flag, then a user definable bit that is not used by us, then auxiliary uh, carry flag that is can be denoted by AC or we can denote it by AF, auxiliary carry flag. So this is auxiliary carry flag. Auxiliary carry flag. then again one more user definable bit, and then parity flag, then one more user definable bit, then parity flag, then user definable bit, and then carry. This is parity flag, that is PF, and this one is your carry flag, that is denoted by CF. Okay, now we will see parity flag, and this last one is your carry flag. Carry flag. Okay, so there are total 9 flags in which these three are denoted as these three the direction flag, this one, the interrupt enable flag, this one, and the trap flag, this one. These three flags are the control flags, and these 6 flags are the status flag. This sign flag, this zero flag, this auxiliary carry flag, this parity flag, and this carry flag, and this overflow flag. These 6 flags are your control, sorry, status flags. So status flags are, I just write down, sign flag, zero flag, auxiliary carry flag, parity flag, and carry flag, and the last one is overflow flag. So these 6 are the status flag. So I denoted them in a bracket, so you will understand. Yes, and the remaining are the control flags. The remaining are the control flags. So I denoted, just write down here, control flags. The control flags, the direction flag, the interrupt enable, interrupt flag, interrupt enable flag, and the third one is your trap flag. These 3 flags are our control flags. Now I'm telling you the working of these flags, these different kind of flags. Okay. So first of all, we talk about this control flag. So direction flag. This direction flag, which is in front of you, is especially used in string instruction. If direction flag is set, then access the string data from higher memory location towards lower memory location. If direction flag is reset, then access the string data from lower memory location towards higher memory location. So we can say in a nutshell, direction flag is especially used in string of instruction, especially used in string instruction. So with the help of this green color, I am writing down about the direction flag. Okay, so direction flag is what? Especially used for string operations. Especially used for string operation. Used for the string related operations. Okay, and set and reset, they can be reset and reset, depends upon that the string data is from higher memory location or from lower memory location. The interrupt flag, these flags are used for the interrupt. These flags are used for the interrupt. If set, the microprocessor will recognize the interrupt request. If zero, then it will not recognize any interrupt request and ignore it. Okay, zero means reset. So what about that interrupt flag? I'm just writing down with this black color. Look at very carefully the interrupt flag. Right? If set, it means one. So I write down in bracket set, then recognize interrupt request. If reset means 0. Then ignore the interrupt request. Then ignore the request. So it will be set and reset, depends on that it ignore the request or it recognize the request, depends on the set and reset condition of this interrupt flag. Then the second one, the last one is your trap flag. So trap flag is used for the on-chip debugging. It is used for the on-chip debugging. Second trap, setting the trap flag puts the microprocessor into single step mode for debugging, and if reset, then multi-mode debugging. If reset, then sorry, no function is from. If set, then single mode debugging. If reset, then no operations is done. So it is used for on-chip debugging. It is basically used for the on-chip debugging. So I just write down for this trap flag here at the topmost side with the brown color. Kindly look at carefully. Trap flag used for the on-chip debugging. It is used for on-chip debugging. It is basically used for on-chip debugging. The blue color I just saw it. Okay. So it is used for the on-chip debugging. So these are three flags. I again repeat them. So direction flag basically used for the string related operations, that it is a single mode operations or not. Interrupt enable flags is basically used for recognize the interrupt request or ignore them. Trap flags is basically used for the on-chip debugging. If reset, then no debugging. If set, it means one on this bit, it means single mode debugging is performed. Okay. Now the remaining flags, they are status flag, and related to those flags are also present, like these flags are also present in the general operation, like the sign flag. If any arithmetic and logic operation result is negative or positive, we want to know, then this sign flag bit we should check. If negative, then it will be set. If positive, then it will be reset. Okay. Zero flag means if any arithmetic and logical operation result is zero, then this zero flag is set, otherwise it is reset. Auxiliary carry flag, it means if any carry generated from the bit, then it will be set, otherwise reset. Okay. And overflow flag is that when it will be set, if the result of any, it is related with the signed operation actually. So if the signed operation is very large, okay, then large to fit in the number of bits, then set, otherwise reset. Okay, for example, we just add 100 and 50 together, so they are not in the range of 127 to minus 128 range, so this flag will be set, otherwise reset. Parity flag for any arithmetic and logic operations, it will, if the flags if the result bit contains odd number of ones, then it will be set. It shows the parity of the number, means how many number of ones in the data. So if the number of ones are even, then it is reset. If odd, then it is set. Carry flag, if carry will be generated from any arithmetic and logic operations, then it will, this flag will be set, otherwise reset. Parity flag, as I told, if the arithmetic and logical operation result contains even number of ones, then it is reset, so we put 0 over here, and if set, then we put 1 over here. Auxiliary carry flag, if from D3 to D, if auxiliary carry flag, if from the lower LSB to MSB, if any one will be generated, then it will be set, otherwise reset. Zero flag, it means if the result of any arithmetic and logic operations will be zero, then it will be reset, otherwise set, otherwise reset. And sign flag show you the any arithmetic and logic operations result is positive or negative. So these are different kind of flags in case of 8086 microprocessor. Okay, now I'm showing you one thing, that what is the difference between, what is the difference between 8085 and 8086 microprocessor flag register. 8086 and 8085 microprocessor. Apart from the basic general definitions that the 8085 microprocessor is a 16-bit microprocessor, whereas the 8085 microprocessor was a 8-bit microprocessor. The data bus is of 8-bit, data bus is of 16-bit. Uh, like these differences, apart from those differences, we just see that there exist only the 5 flags: sign flag, zero flag, auxiliary carry flag, parity flag, and carry flag in 8085 microprocessor. But here there are total 9 flags. Four new flags are come, in which 3 flags are control flags. They are direction flag and drift flag and your type flag, and one more overflow flag is there. Overflow flag is there. Okay. In case of 8085 microprocessor, the data bus is of 8-bit, but in case of 8086 microprocessor, the data bus is of 16-bit. The clock which we used in the case of 8085 microprocessor, the crystal oscillator frequency is 3 megahertz standard one, but here we can use 5 megahertz, 8 megahertz, or 10 megahertz frequency. Okay, the memory addressing capacity of 8085 microprocessor is 2 raised to the power 16, that is 64 kilobyte. But in case of 8086 microprocessor, it is 2 raised to the power 20, that is 1 MB. Okay, the address bus size in case of 8085 microprocessor is 16-bit, whereas 20-bit address bus size of 8086 microprocessor. So apart from this flag register concept, now we see a new thing, that is the difference between the 8085 microprocessor and 8086 microprocessor. So just to see this PPT, we're going to see difference between 8085 and 8086 microprocessor. What is the difference between 8086 microprocessor and 8085 microprocessor? So look at it carefully. Here I am writing down about, first of all, I just increase the font size. So here you will see about 8085, and here we will talk about 8086. Okay, so there are so many differences. Like the current difference we you just notice right now is my flag register. So 5 flags were only present in case of 8085 microprocessor, but in case of 8086 microprocessor, you see there are 9 flags. There are 9 flags. 9 flags. Okay. The second one is the 8085 microprocessor is a 8-bit microprocessor because the 8-bit data bus was there, but in case of 8086, 16-bit of data bus. So I just write down this reference also. This is 8-bit processor, whereas 8086 is a 16-bit microprocessor. 8086 microprocessor is of 16-bit. The third difference is the address bus is of 16-bit, or we can say 8-bit data bus. 8-bit data bus. In case of 8085 microprocessor, whereas 16-bit data bus in case of 8086 microprocessor. The next one is 16-bit address bus in case of 8085 microprocessor, whereas 20-bit of address bus, 20-bit address bus in case of your 8086 microprocessor. Okay. The capacity, if we memory addressing capacity is of 2 raised to the power 16. The memory address capacity, the memory addressing capacity of 8085 is 64 kilobyte. Okay, it is 64 kilobyte. But in case of 8086 microprocessor, the memory addressing memory addressing capacity or capability is 2 raised to the power 20. It depends on what is the address bit. So here 20, so 2 raised to the power 20, that is 1 megabyte. That is a large number for memory addressing capability. So this is about the memory addressing capability of 8085 microprocessor and 8086 microprocessor. 8085 microprocessor operates at a frequency of 3 megahertz, where 8086 microprocessor at 5 megahertz, or we can say 8 megahertz or 10 megahertz. That is a crystal oscillator frequency actually. So operate at 3 megahertz, whereas 86 microprocessor operate at 5 or 8 or 10 megahertz. Generally 5 megahertz, but other frequency oscillator we can choose for operations of that. Okay. 8085 microprocessor supports a single mode of operation, but 8085 supports two operating mode, minimum and maximum mode. No particular mode of operation in 8085, only a single mode of operation is there. Okay, but minimum and maximum modes are present in case of 8086 microprocessor. Right. So there is single mode of operation. Single mode of operation in case of 8085, but in case of 8086, there are two modes. One is minimum, and the second one is maximum. There are minimum and maximum. These two different kind of modes of operations were present in case of 8085 microprocessor, 8086 microprocessor, but only a single mode of operations is present in case of 8086 microprocessor. Now the pipelining concept, one more thing, the pipelining concept is not, sorry, yes. So the pipelining concept is unsupportable by 8085, where pipelining is supported by 8086 microprocessor. The pipelining pipelining is not supported here in case of 8085, but in case of 8086, pipelining is supported. Pipelining is supported in case of 8086. So this one is here the difference between the 8085 microprocessor and 8086 microprocessor. Instruction queue is not present. There was no meaning of instruction queue in case of 8085 microprocessor, but tuning, instruction tuning is supported in 8086 microprocessor. No instruction queue. In case of 8085 microprocessor, instruction tuning is supported or present, we can say. Supported or present, we can say. This is one of the most important difference again in case of 8085 and 8086. Memory segmentation is not supported by 8085, but in case of 8086 microprocessor, memory segmentation is supported. Memory segmentation is not supported. But in case of 8086, memory segmentation is supported. In case of 8086 microprocessor, memory segmentation is presented. 8085, in case of 8085 microprocessor, the general purpose register is your accumulator, which is generally used for the arithmetic and logic operations. But 8085 microprocessor is a register type microprocessor. That was a accumulator based microprocessor, but 8086 is a general purpose register based microprocessor. So this is a general difference. So these 10 differences are very much important to differentiate and for the objective point of view. For the objective point of view in between 8086 and 8085 microprocessor. So these are 10 differences which are very much useful. Okay, for the objective point of view, let's suppose we just solve certain objectives. Okay, related to whatever we studied till now. Now, how many number of flags present in 8086 microprocessor? 5 flags, 7 flag, 9 flag, 10 flag, how many? So definitely it will be 9 flags in case of 8086. Which flag is not present in 8085? Overflow flag, sign flag, zero flag, carry flag. Then my answer should be overflow flag. Okay. Let wait for a while. I just search for some objective. Okay. Then how many? Which one do not support the memory segmentation? Then you should know that which one do not support the this. Yes. So just to see this MS Paint file. Now instead of this MS Paint file, we just solve certain objective questions. So see on this question book. I am still presenting. And just to show you this book. Yes. Showing you I am. Yes, I am showing you this book. Kindly wait to solve a certain objective that is very important for us. Yes, so these are certain objective questions on 8086 microprocessor. So how many objective questions we can solve whatever we studied till now? Now just to see. The first, uh, yes. Now see, in 8086 microprocessor, the ninth number question, in 8086 microprocessor, the address bus is, so we know the address bus is of 20 bits, so the answer is D. Okay. In 16-bit flag of 8086 microprocessor, okay, is responsible to indicate, definitely it is related with the arithmetic and logic operations, so the answer is A. The CF is known as carry flag, conditional flag, common flag, or single flag. So we just see previously to previous to the difference between 8085 and 8086, the flag register in that I wrote CF, that is carry flag. What is stands for SF? The 13 number question. What stands for SF? So SF is your sign flag. What stands for OF? Definitely it is your overflow flag. Okay, so these are certain questions related with the 8086 microprocessor which are important for us. Okay, the seventh number question. The Intel 80856 microprocessor is a which kind of microprocessor it is? So it is a 16-bit microprocessor. So daily we will solve certain topics on 8086 microprocessor and we will be able to solve certain objectives of this unit. Okay, thank you very much.